Hey, it's Ty Crandall with Credit Suite, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the secrets to being able to get credit financing for your business without personal liability, without personal guarantees. So by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what it takes to be able to obtain credit for your business without being personally liable for the credit that you obtain. Look, as a business owner, you don't want to be personally liable for everything that takes place in your business, let alone be personally liable for all the credit financing that you're obtaining along the way. Now, you need to know up front that a lot of loans and credit lines, almost all of them, are very difficult to get away with personal guarantees. But the great news is it's very easy to get high limit credit cards for your business without the personal guarantees and without the personal credit check. Now, the more of this credit you obtain and the better and better your credit profile becomes for your business, the easier it is to then access other kinds of financing without that personal liability. So how do you do this? Well, personal guarantees are needed when your business can't stand on its own, which just means is that if you need your personal credit report to get approved, that's when you need to have a personal guarantee. So how do you get away from guarantees? It's simple. You build a commercial credit report for your business the same as you've done for yourself as a consumer that's linked to your social. So your business has its own credit report with Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax that's linked to your business EIN number. Now, this doesn't come by default. It's not something that's automatically assigned. As a matter of fact, you got to take very specific steps to be able to obtain corporate credit and build out that corporate credit profile. The deeper your credit profile is, meaning the more accounts you have reporting to the business credit reporting agencies, the more credit and financing you're able to obtain without the personal guarantee and personal credit check. So for example, if you look at Michael Dell, we know he's not personally guaranteeing the credit that Dell obtains, but it's not because the company Dell is Dell. It's because if you look at Dell's credit report, you'll see 100+ accounts reporting on their business credit reports. Bottom line, when somebody goes to issue credit to a company like Dell, they're pulling that commercial credit report, seeing 100 trade lines that shows that they pay their bills as agreed, and that's what's getting them approved for the credit financing without the personal guarantor. Here's the key. You can do exactly the same thing. So you can actually come in and do exactly the same thing for your business that the large companies do as well. You can even follow the exact same steps to success. So let's review those steps right now. The very first thing you want to do is you want to build a fundable foundation. We call this fundability. Now, there's over 125 factors that tie into fundability. Too many to go over here. You can visit us online at youtube.com/credit suite to learn more about all these factors that tie into fundability. But you want to at least focus on the basics. Make sure that your business name and address is the same on your Secretary of State records as it is on your business loan or credit applications. You need to make sure you have a business phone number, a business fax number, and get that phone number to be toll-free and get it listed with 411 as well. You need to make sure you have any necessary licenses that you need for your business. Have a business bank account set up. You're not going to need a business bank account to build business credit, but they will ask you for bank references during that time of applying, so you need to make sure that you have that set up. Everything on the credit application should reflect that you're a legitimate and credible business. And if it doesn't, then you want to fix those things to give your business as much legitimacy as you can so you are as fundable as you possibly can. The more fundable your business is, the more access to credit and financing you're going to get. Once you set up this credible foundation, then you want to start getting initial credit that reports to the business credit reporting agencies. There's two ways to do this. The first way is through what are called vendors. These are credit issuers that will give you credit even if you have none now, and you can buy all kinds of products and services with them. Some sources, for example, are Uline and Quill. They sell office supplies and shipping supplies, and they'll give you terms like net 30 to actually have 30 days to pay back what you buy in their stores, and they report your timely payments to the business credit reporting agencies. Now, another way to do this is with a program called UBF, or Unsecured Business Financing. You can get approved for this at creditsuite.com/get funding. Now, this does require good credit and personal guarantees for approval, but you're able to get credit lines up to $150,000 that report to the business credit reporting agencies. You can use your credit to qualify or that of a guarantor. Now, again, you have two options. You can go with vendor credit that requires no credit check or no guarantee, or you can go with actual UBF or unsecured credit lines that do require a personal guarantee or credit check. Either way, the goal is to have at least 5 accounts reporting on your business credit reports. Once you have those 5, then you can move on to the next step, which is actually to start to get store credit. Places like Amazon, places like Costco, Sam's Club, Walmart, these type of companies offer you business credit without personal guarantees and credit check that you can start to get approved with once you have that handful of accounts reporting. You can even, with 8 to 10 accounts reporting, move on to fleet credit. This is places like BP, Chevron, Sunoco, where you can get fuel, auto repairs, auto maintenance. And when you have about 14 14 accounts reporting, then you can move to the final tier of business credit building. You can get auto financing, for example. You can even come in and get Visa cards, MasterCards, American Express cards without personal guarantees and without personal credit checks. That fundamentally is the process of building business credit. As you do this, along the way, you want to monitor your business credit reports. creditsuite.com/monitoring. It's the only place you need to know. If you go to creditsuite.com/monitoring, you can get Dun & Bradstreet and Experian credit reports for only $24 a month. That's 90% off of what you're going to get the reports for from the business credit bureaus themselves. So make sure you monitor your business credit building along the way. Make sure you dispute or challenge any inaccurate information you see, and make sure that you always pay your bills on time. If you've done this, all the credit I've talked about so far, you're able to get without a personal guarantee. Almost every major retailer offers these kind of credit cards that don't require the personal guarantee and don't require the personal credit check if you followed the steps that I've actually outlined. Now, the more of this credit you get, the deeper that credit profile, the more trade lines you have, the easier it is in the future to get away without personal guarantees. But you have to keep in mind, when it comes to loans, when it comes to credit lines, they're going to start looking into other factors other than just trade lines on your business credit reports. They're going to look at your financial information, your revenue, your profits. They're going to look at how many accounts you have. They're going to look at your days beyond terms on those. They're going to look at your payment history. There's a lot of other factors. They're even going to look at the number of employees that you have. And they're also going to be looking at multiple credit scores, not just the ones that reflect how you pay your bills. So visit us online at youtube.com/credit suite to learn more about those other scores and the other things like submitting financials to some companies like Dun & Bradstreet to make sure that you have the strongest credit profile you have. The strength of your credit profile will determine how fundable your business is, meaning the strength of your credit profile determines how easy it is to get loans and credit lines, and it'll also be the guiding light to being able to get away from personal guarantees on other kind of financing in the future as well. So to learn more, visit us online at creditsuite.com.